Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy, and today we're going to unbox a First Order Snowspeeder from The Force Awakens. So let's go check this thing out, come on. Alright everybody, here we are today with a First Order Snowspeeder with a First Order Snowtrooper officer, and this vehicle is from the Force Awakens line. And we are going to unbox this thing today, but before we get that far, I just want to quickly spin the packaging around, let you guys take a look at it here. And there's a whole lot going on the sides, but on the back here you have a nice picture of the vehicle and the figure that comes with it, as well as over here you have some of the functions of the vehicle, and then we have a very small vehicle and character description. And I will go ahead and read that to you guys. The First Order deploys these fast, maneuverable gunboats for combat in sub-zero climates. And that's it. So, very quick, very brief. Okay, guys, so let's cut into this thing. So, some of you may be looking at this vehicle and say, well, I don't recognize it from the Force Awakens, and there's a reason for that. And because this vehicle was actually in the movie, but it was deleted from the film when they did the final edit. So if you have the DVD, you can actually go onto the deleted scenes, and there's a scene on there called the Snowspeeder chase, and it's very short, very brief. It's probably less than 30 seconds, but they actually show this vehicle in the deleted scenes. And there was a scene that was supposed to have Rey and Finn in one of these vehicles, and they were being chased, and it's a little chase scene. But if you actually want to see it in action, and the special effects are unfinished, they're not totally polished, but if you have the DVD, and you should probably be able to look it up on YouTube as well, there is a deleted scene that features this vehicle. So it was in The Force Awakens. But unfortunately it was cut out of the final edit, and the reason the toy gets made is because they send some of the designs to the toy makers, and they start making the toys before they make the final edit of the film. So sometimes things get made that don't make it into the final cut of the film. So that's how things like that happen. So let's get this thing out of here. Oh, okay. There we go. And I'm already looking at it, and I am seeing that there's going to be some assembly required. So we have a bag of parts, and then we have the actual vehicle, and looks like we got everything out of there. And here is the vehicle. And let's, before we get further into this thing, because I'm already seeing there's parts on the bottom here. We got a little landing gear. Very nice. Let's look at these things and see if we can figure them out here. And I can already see there's a little instruction booklet in there, so we'll see if that helps out at all. Okay, so we have what appears to be seat backs, and if you look here, it looks like it should snap right in. So I'm gonna, but I'm also looking and I'm seeing that this thing has handrails, and it looks like they may need to go in first. So you have some handrails, it looks like, for the front and the back, and let's see how we can get these in. And you can see there's little holes all the way around, and you're just going to line up the handrail that matches. Doesn't look too terribly difficult, and they are snapping right into place, no problem. As you can see, you get a little handrail here, and it looks like there's another one that's going to snap into the back here. And as you can see, there's 3 holes, there's 3 pegs, so it's not terribly difficult to figure out. I have a feeling we can get through this without reading the instruction booklet. So there we go. We got the handrail in on the back. No problem. And I'm seeing these look like parts to the blaster projectile, and then the seat backs. And I just wanted to put the handrails in first because it looked like you might run into a little conflict if you put the seat backs in first. But as you can see, there's a little cutout here, and there's two little holes, and it looks like there's two little notches, so they should snap right in, I'm hoping. Okay, so you have two little holes right here, and you have little clips right here. You can see on the seat backs, and you're gonna snap it right into position here, and there you go. The seat headrests or seat backs are in. Very interesting. All right, and so from there, we're looking at the gun pieces. So I'm looking at the back of the box, trying to get this figured out here, and okay, seems pretty simple. So if you look at the bottom, this is the base of the gun, and you can see there's a little keyhole right there, and then you have the arm piece that the gun is going to rest on, and then there is a keyhole piece that matches up with this one, so you're just going to stick them in here, and they should click together. And I'm not hearing any snapping or anything, but it's in there. Oh. And then we're going to take the large blaster cannon, and here's a look at it, and you can see there's a little hole here and a little peg on the gun. You're just going to mate them up. No problem. And then we have the projectile right here, and it looks like it goes in anyway. There's no little fin on it or anything. Sometimes they put little slots on them, so you have to put them in a certain direction, but this one looks like you can put it in any direction. Then you have a little tiny trigger mechanism right here, and let's see here. All right. Pretty simple. All right. Very cool. Okay. So what they're showing you on the back of the box is there's two ways to use this blaster. Is you can have it be a standalone, and also if you look in here on the inside of the speeder, there's a little place to install it or insert it right here. So let's see if we can get that going on here. Okay. Alright, so very cool. So it snaps into position, and it's held into position, and it just, whoops, just snaps right back out, and unfortunately the arm isn't sticking onto the base very well, but okay. So, and also I'm noticing too cool, you have rotation on the cannon support arm. But if you look in here, you'll see there's a little like U-shaped piece and then a hole cut out into the floorboard. I'm trying to get some light in there. Okay, there you can see it. And so what you want to do is take the base, and you're going to slide the long thin piece in, and then the U-shaped piece is going to mate up with the back of the base. So there you go. That's how it installs. And as far as I can tell, just looking at this thing, that appears to be all the moving parts on here. There's no steering mechanism that moves. You have a little peg right here in the floorboard for your gunner to stand on. That's where you install the figure's foot on the little hole that's on the bottom of their foot. So other than the landing gear, so you can see there's a little landing gear here on the bottom, and it tucks up like that, and you can pull it out, and you can see it's got a fairly wide range of motion. And you can actually put it out further than it needs to be, and I guess if you wanted to, you could have your ship point up if you're going to shoot at something up in the sky. I don't know if it's meant to do that, but it is a possibility. Whoops. But you can kind of feel it like clicking into position. It's not making any sound, but you can see it snap into position here. And then it snaps into position up top. And then that's obviously the position you want to have it in to have the vehicle rest on the ground. Okay, so we also have the First Order Snowtrooper officer, and unfortunately it's not wanting to focus on him. There we go. And let's pop him out of here. Very nice. Okay, so here he is. And you can see he's got a hole in the back here for his backpack. And then, of course, we have the shoulder pad. And you can see it has a little movement to it. I don't think you're supposed to be able to move it, but it is a little bit loose. And so real quick here, let's run through his movement. So on his head, you have side-to-side rotation, side-to-side movement, excuse me. And it's kind of limited because you can see the helmet is hitting the shoulder pad right here. So you can force it, but just in general, that's about how far he spins his head. It almost goes all the way around. Okay, so if we look at his shoulders, you have shoulder rotation on one arm, and you have it on this arm as well, but due to the shoulder pad, that's the extent of the range. But if you, again, move the shoulder pad, you can fully rotate his arm if you want to. Okay, and then, let's see here, no wrist movement, no waist movement, and of course you have hip movement because we got to sit him in the speeder. Alright, and then from there we have his little backpack that he came with, and you can see there's a peg sticking out for the hole in his back. It's pretty self-explanatory how it just snaps right in there. It's in there nice and tight. And then of course we have his blaster rifle, and here it is. Okay, and let's check out how he holds this thing here. Okay. Very nice. It's in there, it's a little bit loose, not totally tight like I'd like to see. And it looks like it might fit a little bit better into that arm. Yeah. Well, it's about the same. It's in there, but yeah, you can see if you put a little too much pressure on, it's going to come loose. So it's no big deal, but it's in there. Very nice. What would have been a cool idea is if they'd done something where you could stick the rifle on the backpack or something like that. Some of the stormtroopers you get from the First Order, they have little clips right here on their leg armor. And there's a little tab on the gun, and this one actually has it on there. They're probably just using the same mold. And you can actually attach the gun to the stormtrooper's hips, but not on these figures, unfortunately. So, okay, so there is your First Order Snowtrooper officer, and let's check out how well he sits in this thing. So we're going to put the blaster to the side for now. And as you can see, it is set up for 2 figures, and I did bring him a friend, so I have another Snowtrooper, First Order Snowtrooper here, and we're going to see if we can get 2 figures into this thing at once. And I have a feeling, just looking at it, well, I guess not. I thought you were going to have to take the backpack off to get him in there, but that does not appear to be the case. So, very cool. So since this guy came with the vehicle, I'm going to assume that he is set up to be the pilot or the driver. And you can see they have the steering mechanism set up so you can put it in the figure's hands. And he doesn't have the tightest grip on it, but he's in there. Whoops. The gun's coming out, but he's not. Okay. Very cool. So I'm actually impressed. I thought you were going to have to take the backpack off to get him in there, but you do not. So, all right. And, okay. Let's see if we can put a gunner in there. Okay, and the handles are fairly large, but he's gripping them. And then we want to see if we can get his foot into the peg there. It's not really going in, but his foot is in the right place. So, alright, here you go. It does fit 2 Snowtroopers. Very cool. And if you actually go watch the deleted scene, there's 2 of them in the vehicle during the chase sequence. So, very cool. And just want to take this thing out. I want to see if I can get his foot to actually stand on the little peg there. Oh, okay. Alright, so it will. It's working. Cool. What I'm running into here, and it's a little hard to see, is the driver's leg is kind of going out at an angle towards that pin, and so their legs are hitting each other. You can kind of see right there. So to get the gunner on the peg, you kind of have to rub his leg up against the pilot. So, but it's not that big a deal. It is totally workable. It's working. Yeah, but when you put him in the gunner handles, it's popping him off the peg. But he's still in there. He's not. He's got a little bit loose, but very nice. You can see they put a lot of detail into this thing. There's some what look like gas canisters right here, and you have a little bit of cargo here, and it looks like it comes out, but I'm not seeing that. But it looks good. It looks like they're removable pieces, even though they're not. And of course you have the thrusters there, and this actually looks like a moving piece, but it is not. So, oops. All right. Very cool. Very nice. All right, guys. That's it. This is the First Order Snowtrooper officer and a First Order Snowspeeder from the Force Awakens. Thanks for watching, everyone, and if you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Bye.